The Private Label Pod with your host Paul Mooney, brought to you by Private Label People.
You just listen and leave the rest up to us.
Welcome to the Private Label Pod, episode 12. I am Paul Mooney. Bit by bit, you've probably came to the conclusion that we are introducing you to our wonderful teammates here at Private Label People, and today is no exception. We are going to welcome Mrs. Emily Konesky.
Get involved, have your say, ask us a question, or leave us a voice message by heading on over to privatelabelpeople.com/podcast.
Emily, fantastic to have you here on our Private Label Pod. Welcome. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing great, Paul. Thank you so much for that warm introduction, and I am so excited to be here.
Oh, you're very welcome. I had the pleasure of speaking to you recently on a Meet the Team call, so you're now returning the favour, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much. How's your day been so far? Are you busy, as always?
Yes, busy as always. Sometimes I feel like we're, drinking through a fire hose, but I don't think that, to be honest, I would have it any other way. So it's been a really great day, very productive so far. We're a little bit behind you guys just from living in Buffalo, New York. So I think we're about 5 hours behind you guys. So it's still pretty early. Anything is possible for the rest of the day today.
I love that phrase, drinking through a fire hose. I haven't heard that one before. That's one I'll have to remember. That sums it up perfectly.
But you can you can feel yourself in it though, right? You're like, yep, I know exactly what that feels like.
Yeah, it sounds like some sort of a drinking game that we would probably do here in Ireland, actually. So it makes perfect sense to me. But, and you're in Buffalo. What are you from Buffalo originally? Is that where you've always lived, or is it somewhere you moved to?
Yes. Yep. Born and raised in Buffalo. So whenever we say that we're from New York, everybody always assumes New York City, right? But we're on the completely opposite side of the state. So we're about, I would say, 20 to 30 minutes from Niagara Falls. Yeah. So that's where we're at. And Buffalo is the city itself. And I've lived pretty much all over the place in different little towns around Buffalo. So I'm about, 15, 20 minutes from the big city.
Great. No place like home. I've been to Niagara, but we didn't make it over to Buffalo. But if I was going to come to Buffalo tomorrow, where would you take me? Where would be good to go?
Well, I would be sad if you came to Buffalo today because it's a bit gloomy. But just we're very seasonal, and it's this time of the year when things are just a little dull, a little cloudy. It could be 60 degrees Fahrenheit one day, and then 30 degrees Fahrenheit another day. But if you were to come, I would hope that you would be coming in the summertime. So it's a bit nicer then. But I would definitely take you back to Niagara Falls because there's a place that we like to take people. It's a little bit of secret. It's called Goat Island. So it's just like this little path. You take a little bridge over the falls, and you just have this absolutely incredible view. It's much nicer than I think some of the areas that the tourists see. But then, of course, I would definitely take you to get some chicken wings. Wow. There are some great places to go to, and in the town that I live in East Aurora, there's this awesome place called Barville where it has, I would have to say, probably some of the best chicken wings ever. So definitely falls and some chicken wings, and based off of the popularity of some of the sponge candy that we've been bringing over to you guys, we stop at a chocolate shop for that too.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. You and then Patrick Suarez brings us chocolate as well from Switzerland, so we can't go wrong. We're getting it from both angles, which is excellent. But you said chicken wings. Am I right in saying, or buffalo wings, did they originate? Is that why they're called buffalo wings? Chicken wings originated in Buffalo, is that correct?
Okay. Yes. I will never forget the time we were sitting down at this wonderful pizza shop. I think, is it the Flaming Crust?
Yes.
Am I saying that correctly?
Yep,
that little pizza shop? Yep. We were there, and Robert orders food amazingly, and I think he ordered some buffalo wings, not knowing that it was our buffalo wings. So seeing that come about was pretty cool to see that thought process be like, oh, Yeah.
once it
So that
manifested.
was fun. But yes, you're correct.
You came a long way. So you grew up in a farming background, as you say. The WSO might not agree with that, and then you became involved in retail. Would that be right? Was that your first sample of life in work?
Yeah. Yeah. Just retail. There's quite an interesting path to getting to retail, but once I did, it was all brick and mortar, and it was high volume retail where I was. And there's just something about working with people that I really enjoyed. I loved just being a part, and still do to this day, being a part of everybody's experiences. There is something really unique about being able to be a part of somebody's, day and life based off of what they choose to, either purchase or spend their time with, based off of the different types of, retail that you can be in. But for me, taking that even a little bit further and being in the not management, but management. I like to think of it as leadership instead of management. Is you get to be a part of your team's own personal and professional development as well. So I think that's what I really loved is, having that camaraderie with the team that you're overseeing, that you're guiding, that you're helping them achieve their own professional goals. You're coaching in the moment. You're building a lot of skills that you don't realize how valuable they are until they transfer over to a different type of business or different type of way of life.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's definitely something that connects you then into private label people, because you got involved with the guys here, and you have lots of members within private label that you can help to get the best from and to motivate them. What is the best thing about working within private label people, do you feel?
That's a great question, but I think it's going to sound really simple. It's the people. It really is. Why else would we do this, right? Like, we have the opportunity to make a direct impact on somebody else's life. So not only is it the members, but also the team, working with, Robert and Ollie and Mickey and, of course with Esso as well too, has been absolutely life-changing. And I don't even know what I would be doing if we weren't doing this. It's kind of crazy to think about that. I didn't know that this could be a path that we could have, but now that we're on it, it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, of course. And you just mentioned our other female member in Mickey. So you form part of a great duo, the two only females in our team here. Is there an empowering female that comes to mind that you can think of that's really stands out and has motivated you through your life?
That one is a little bit more of a harder question for me to answer, and I know that might be different for some people to hear. Growing up, I didn't have a lot of role models or a lot of mentors until I would have to say, when I met actually Steve's mom, I would have to say that she would be a mentor to me. She couldn't be more farther different than I am in regards to she's an incredible woman. She is just so smart and determined, but also strong. And that was something that I didn't really have in my life. So to be able to learn from her about how to just make your path forward in life has been just really life-changing. So while my mentors are, small, that they're just so powerful and impactful.
Of course, and sometimes the best mentors are the ones that are closest to you, right? So that makes a lot of sense. And
yes.
And you mentioned Steve's mom, but you also mentioned Stephen. You're obviously part of a great couple, and you guys working together. We've had Ali and Michaela on also talking about their working life. What qualities do you think you bring to the table that differ from Stephen's?
I would also, you're asking me some really great questions, Paul. I love this. I would have to say that we do balance each other out. I know it's, a little cliche to say the opposites do attract. There are times where I tend to have a little bit more of a softer approach to a situation where we just kind of, stop and, we understand what is happening, why it's happening. I tend to be very empathetic just in life in general. So I always try to look at that situation the best. I tend to look for the best in people. Not saying that anybody's looking for the worst, but I'm always trying to think of like that angle or put myself in that person's shoes to help understand, maybe why a situation is happening. Steve is very analytical. He's great. So he's the one that, will do the reporting. He's definitely big on processes, SOPs, standard operating procedures. And for me, I tend to have a little bit more of that creativity behind what that looks like. So I think us coming together, I think I mentioned it even the other day, like, steel sharpens steel. So for us to be able to work together with our different qualities and skill set has made an absolute incredible team between us.
Absolutely, yeah. No, and you can tell that. I think in meeting you guys, and I've met you before. You make a great couple, and the yin and the yang balances out really, really well. So our members are very lucky to have you both. But this is great, Emily.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming onto the podcast and having a short chat with us. And I'm sure everybody at home will be really pleased to have listened to what you've given us.
No, well, thank you so much for sharing that. I am so happy to be here and looking forward to the next time that we chat again.
Get involved, have your say, ask us a question, or leave us a voice message by heading on over to privatelabelpeople.com/podcast.
Thank you so much to Emily for coming on and joining us. And just another one of the members here at Private Label People telling us a little bit about their life to date. We hope to have her on again soon, where we'll go a little bit more in depth into her private label journey so far. In the meantime, thank you, and we'll see you all again soon.